Father's Day weekend here at Citizens Bank Park, a perfect place to bring Dad, get a chance to enjoy a ball game, and get a chance to get a hug. It's game number 2 between the Phillies and the St. Louis Cardinals. It's Weekends with Schmidt, presented by Acme Markets. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy, joined by Ben Davis and Mike Schmidt. We get set for tonight's game 2. And, Mike, I don't want to remind you, but the Phillies have won only one game since the last time we saw you.
Tommy, you don't have to remind me. I've been watching them on TV. Not a lot to smile about if you're a Phillies fan. However, the last couple games, even though we only won one and lost one, Ryan Howard's given us something to smile about. Here you see the home run against Norris. Boom, won the game 2-1. Ryan Howard has had a great career against him. And against the left-hander, he reaches out and hooks a long fly ball down the right field line for a 3-run home run, which really didn't matter in that game because we were getting smoked anyway. But it is something to to smile about. Ryan Howard right now, 13 home runs, 33 RBIs. I did a little math today, 42% of the way through the season. So if you project it, he's on schedule for right around 30 and 75 to 80. Now, that's not bad. He's 26th in the league in RBIs and 10th in home runs, and I think things will improve. I think we all are optimistic about that the second half of the season. So it's not the Ryan Howard of old, but it's pretty darn good. We're looking at 30 home run year and a 85 to 90 RBI year, and things could be worse.
Things could be a lot worse. So you did some math today. You got yourself a haircut, so now you're getting ready for a little baseball.
Did you, by the way.
I did get myself a haircut as well. Ben Davis doesn't need a haircut, but he's going to talk a little pitching right now. But John Lackey, the starting pitcher for the St. Louis Cardinals, we saw him earlier this year, Ben. Phillies are the only team to beat him at home. He really has trouble, though, on the road.
He does have some trouble on the road. He's the best find, I think, of all the pitchers in the Major League Baseball. $500,000 for this guy. He's a veteran guy, knows how to pitch, has been in big situations. And you take a look at these pitches, the one thing he does so well is he keeps that breaking ball down. I know from experience, he got me with it a gazillion times. You have to make sure that breaking ball is up. You have to make sure his fastball is up as well, but he will make you fish with that breaking ball.
All right, so his numbers during the course of the season. April, ERA was high. May, very good. But then again, the Cardinals as a whole were very good in the month of May. And now, here in June, the ERA is high again.
The ERA is high, but the Cardinals, they really depend on John Lackey to go out and give them innings, give them support, and get wins. With Adam Wainwright on the bench, on the DL for the remainder of the year, again, he's a veteran presence, and they rely on him to go out and get wins for this team.
All right, well, the Phillies are looking to get a win here tonight to even up this series against the St. Louis Cardinals. It'll be Aaron Harang making his 15th start for the Phillies. He's really struggled. He hasn't had a win in his last 6 outings. Meanwhile, John Lackey making his 14th start for the St. Louis Cardinals. Well, the Cardinals came into this series averaging 2 runs per game over their last 4 games. Last night, a little different story. They hit 3 home runs. One was longer than the other. Lineups at first pitch when we return. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Budweiser. Still brewed the hard way. This Bud's for you. By Toyota. Where will Toyota take you? Visit buyatoyota.com to find out. Toyota, let's go places. By Xfinity, the official entertainment provider of the Philadelphia Phillies. By Citizens Bank, one deposit checking. Keeping things simple is helping you bank better. And by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. Learn more at IBX.com. Well, back here at Citizens Bank Park, we are ready to go. Colton Wong digs in. Aaron Harang is on the mound, and the first pitch is in there for a strike, and it's 0-1. A hot night here in Philadelphia. Colton Wong had a good night last night. If you consider a home run and 5 at-bats a good one, and that one is smoked right off the mask of Ruiz. Oof. Ben, your ears ringing up here?
Welcome to the party.
My little league coach used to say, good old mask.
Man.
Good old mask.
I mean, it's there to protect you, but he took a shot on that one.
I was actually talking with Cameron Rupp today about the face mask that they wear, and Nike came out a couple years ago with a titanium mask. Now you can see better out of it. That's the one that Chooch wears. You can see better out of it because the bars are thinner, but when you get hit, you feel it a lot more because it's a lot lighter.
0-2 pitch to Wong. They go upstairs. It's chopped to shortstop. Freddie Galvis is there. And one away. Let's take a look at the rest of the Cardinals lineup, brought to you by Xfinity, the official entertainment provider of the Philadelphia Phillies. It's Carpenter coming up now, then Johnny Peralta and Jason Hayward. Yadier Molina is the catcher. He'll bat 5th. Randall Grichuk, the left fielder, bats 6th. Xavier Scruggs is at first base. He'll bat 7th. Borges 8th. And John Lackey 9th. And of course, it is Aaron Harang making his 15th start, 4-8, an ERA of 3.24. Matt Carpenter 1 for 1 last night with 3 walks. And he takes low, 1 ball, no strikes.
I don't know about you guys. That's a pretty impressive record for me, looking at that lineup and that record.
44-23. 5.5 up over the Pirates in the Central. As you see the Budweiser scouting report on Aaron Harang.
We'll sit right at about 90, give or take a couple MPHs, change up curve. The fastball command for me has to be better. That's where I think it's really lacked over his last couple of starts, was that fastball command. And his changeup needs to be down with that. But overall, you know what you're going to get out of Aaron Harang.
Yeah, statistically, he's been throwing the slider and the changeup basically the same amount of time. But one has been more effective than the other. Just off the outside corner, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, Mike, you talk about the Cardinals record at 44-23. This guy right here is one of the big reasons why. 2-time All-Star. And that ball may have gotten his foot. Carapazza was late to react. And Carpenter's aboard, a hit by pitch. With Carapazza behind the plate tonight.
Well, there goes the perfect game.
I can't tell whether it hit him or not.
It's like it may have just grazed him.
Yeah, perfect game was nearly thrown earlier today in Washington, but a hit by pitch in the 9th inning ended that. Still turned out to be a no-hitter for Max Scherzer. Here's Johnny Peralta. 1 ball, no strikes. Peralta batting 3rd here tonight. This guy has been a great pickup for the St. Louis Cardinals.
Amazing, and it's hard to believe at his size. He's their shortstop.
On the outside corner, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Great pitch. That's what you mean by fastball location. Behind 1-0 on the count, he paints the outside corner. Another thing that amazes me is the versatility of those Cardinals hitters. I mean, they all seem to be able to assume any spot in the batting.
Yeah, and I wonder if, from an injury standpoint, they've had so many injuries, if they have to, out of necessity, be able to bat in different spots.
Well, you got Hayward hitting cleanup, right? Jason Hayward. I mean, he's been a leadoff hitter for the Braves. I think led off for this team, a little bit this year. He's hit way down in the batting order as well. Now he's hitting cleanup. Molina, usually a 6 or 7 hitter, hitting 5-hole tonight.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Peralta, and he whacks it foul. It remains 1-2.
And that's one thing you'll see a lot out of the Cardinals are foul balls. Close to 50 foul balls last night just from the Cardinals.
Why is that?
Because they're professionals, and if they think it's a strike, or maybe they think they can't get to it, they will just flail at it and knock it foul.
His at bat with the bases loaded, even though they were way ahead in the ball game, was a classic example of what you're saying, Ben. Last night, Peralta fouled off about 6 pitches and ended up with that Here he's doing it again right now. And remember, he ended up with that sacrifice fly to right field. Obviously, it wasn't a big run, but he wanted an RBI, and he knew how to go about getting it.
What did you say to your buddy John Mabry, the hitting coach, about that today? Did you say something to him?
No, I did not talk about that, but I said, hey, go easy tonight, would you?
That's a successful hitting coach right there. He used to play for the Phillies.
Yep. To the right side through the open hole. Carpenter will go to second and hold up there.
Is that what you mean by a professional hitter?
They just do all the little things right at home plate. They don't give away at bats. They will foul balls off.
All right, guys, it's time now for our Nissan keys to tonight's ball game.
I'll go first.
Okay.
We need to move some hitters a little bit, throw a little fear in some opposing hitters. Pitchers getting knocked around way too much. The opposition, to me, from my perspective, again, I'm a TV watcher, but I am a former player, and I know it's a little different hitting when you're uncomfortable at home plate. Hitters are way too comfortable against the Phillies pitchers.
And mine was stay hot, big piece. Ryan has really swung the bat well recently, a couple home runs. Some better at bats, staying through balls better, and he kills the Cardinals. 22 career home runs against the Cards, so hopefully the big piece can keep it up.
Including one last night in the rout by the Cardinals. It was nice to see him continue to hit. Runners on first and second, one man down here in the top of the first. Hayward takes way outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Hayward's hit .302 during the month of June, which has quieted some of the critics for the Cardinals. Obviously, they made that trade for Shelby Miller going to the Atlanta Braves for Jason Hayward. That was the key to it. Center field. That one's well hit. Going back on it is Revere. He's under it. Carpenter will tag from second. And he'll go to third. But there are 2 outs here in the first inning. And first and third for Yadier Molina. During the 2015 season, Turkey Hill, the official ice cream of the Phillies, will contribute $100 for each Phillies victory and 5 cents for each carton of Phillies Grand Slam ice cream, sold to support the Phillies youth baseball and softball programs.
Well, here's a hitter that's become a professional hitter the last 2 or 3 years. He has really become a good hitter. You see a 290 plus batting average right there. For a lot of years, he spent in the low 200s. Mark McGuire, Mabry, someone got a hold of Yadier and taught him to be a great hitter, or helped him become a great hitter. He'll stay in the middle of the field in a situation like this. He'll poke the ball to right field. He'll do everything he can to put the ball in play.
I don't know what you guys think. I think the 07 season, particularly the 07 postseason for Yadier Molina, was where he really came of age.
Lifetime 284 hitter.
Chopper to shortstop. Freddie Galvis is there, and the inning is over. Well, nice way to finish it up for Aaron Harang. He throws 19 pitches, but gets through the top of the first. So on to the bottom of the first inning here at Citizens Bank Park. The Phillies are coming up. First inning, a little different story than last night. Let's take a look at the Phillies starting lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity, the official entertainment provider of the Philadelphia Phillies. It'll be Revere, Utley, and Franco, followed by Ryan Howard, Dominic Brown, and Cody Ashe. And the bottom third of Freddie Galvis, Carlos Ruiz, and Aaron Harang. And they'll face veteran John Lackey, 5-4 in the year, with an earned run average of 3.59. A couple of years ago, we saw Lackey. We wondered, well, how does he get guys out? Because he was nowhere near the pitcher that he once was with the LA Angels, but he's figured it out, Ben.
He's learned how to pitch. Again, the Budweiser scouting report, 90-93. I think he'll mostly sit at 90-91. His curveball is a very good curveball. It's a downward breaking pitch. You just have to make sure you get that elevated. And he's 2-4 with a 3.46 ERA against the Phillies.
Yeah, he's made 3 starts here at Citizens Bank Park, and his numbers are not great here. As Revere takes inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Ben was 1 for 4 last night with a run scored. He's hit in 3 consecutive games, having a decent homestand. And he's behind 1-2. It'll be Revere, Utley, and Maikel Franco. Chopper back toward the middle. And Johnny Peralta throws over to first in time.
I realized Lackey was just tall. 6'5", 6'6".
A big guy.
Wow.
And much slimmer than he was when he was with the Angels. Ben, when you faced him, I mean, he was a little heavier than he is right now.
Yeah, a little bulkier. Definitely has slimmed down a little bit. But he gave me some fits for that breaking ball. I tell you.
Should have got up there right-handed.
I don't know, he made it worse.
Well, what is it about? It throws it down and in a lot?
It's hard. He throws a hard breaking ball. It's got the 12-6 action. You know, sometimes he'll put a little more tilt on it, but you know, coming out of he had to respect his fastball when he was with Anaheim. He was a mid-90s guy, and then you throw that breaking ball that same slot. I didn't pick up the rotation too well.
Inside, 2 balls and no strikes. Chase did not play in last night's ball game, although he was the center of attention when the squirrel attacked him. 1 for 8 on the homestand.
That's just fitting, isn't it, for this year that Chase has had this year?
Hits that sharply right at second base. It's remarkable.
Picks one guy in the dugout to attack.
Well, Chase attacked Lackey there, and it's a 4-3 putout. So 2 outs here in the first. And speaking of Lackey, here's our Geico quote of the day, Mike Matheny on Lackey. He's been a very pleasant surprise, too. His stuff is even better than what we saw last year. He's been a guy we're leaning pretty heavy on right now. As Ben said during the open, the injury to Adam Wainwright has forced guys to be leaned on a little bit more.
Well, it makes sort of makes Lackey your number 1, right? Walker's 9-2.
He's
record-wise.
He's probably their best pitcher, but this, you know, this guy's more the veteran. You know, who's been good for them too is Jaime Garcia, since he came back from the shoulder injury. 0-2 pitch to Franco, and he hits it the other way. Here comes Hayward, and the inning is over. So 10 pitches, and Lackey is through the first inning. Pretty quick work for the right-hander. They've completed 1. We'll move to the second. Grichuk will lead it off when we return. All fans 15 and older, all men 15 and older, excuse me, receive the 1960s Phillies cap, compliments of Chevrolet. Tickets can be purchased right now by going to Phillies.com. It is a great cap, and we've been talking about it over the last several weeks, but it really is sharp. It's the replica of the ones the Phillies players were wearing last night. Here's Randal Grichuk. 1 ball and no strikes to Grichuk. Fly ball down the right field line. Dominic Brown over toward foul territory. He jumps and he can't get high enough because that fan made a nice catch. It's 1 ball, 1 strike.
Mike, I commented on Grichuk's batting stance last evening, and I'm anxious to see your take. It's just
so did I. Sitting next to Mr. Amaro, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's just not something that's, would never teach it, but it's definitely different.
Charlie Lau? Is it similar to a Charlie Lau style? No?
No, I mean, the only thing he's got is a bat laid back like that. Obviously, for me, it creates a better path to the baseball than it does with the bat wrapped behind your neck or up winding around your head or whatever. But for the most part, most hitters, once the pitch leaves the pitcher's hand, the bat will watch it. The bat will see it. See, the bat kind of comes up to a normal position. That's just sort of a preset position for him.
Jason Kipnis from the Indians bats that way from the left side.
Rod Carew did that.
It's a little unusual. There's no question about it. I like to see something a little sort of different, if you will.
Swing and a miss. Down on strikes. First strikeout for Aaron Harang. And Xavier Scruggs is coming up. Let's check in with Greg Murphy. Murph?
All right, thanks a lot, Tom. Well, we're watching to see if Aaron Harang can kind of get things back on track. As we know, he's lost his last 5 consecutive starts. He's never lost 6 consecutive starts in his entire 14-year career. So hoping to get back on track tonight. He's been a victim of the long ball in his last 3 starts. He's allowed 7 home runs. Take a look. The first 11, really good. Opponent's batting average .215 against them, and he was able to get the ball in the zone more than half the time. But then you see the last 3. Opponents batting .265 against him. So it just in a little bit of a down slide over the last 3 starts. But again, hoping to get things back on track here at home tonight.
It is remarkable, Murph, when you talk about it. His last win was May 14th against the Pirates. The Phillies as a team are 0-6, and he has an ERA of 5.05 during that time. But they've also scored on average over 4 runs per game for him in those 6, which, let's face it, that's not something that's been common for the Phillies offense during that time period. So he's gotten a lot of runs. He just hasn't been able to slow the other team down. Outside, 2-2.
You know, Tom, you think back to his last start, he didn't pitch all that poorly. He let up the 1 3-run home run that really was what did him in. But all in all, he pitched pretty well in that game. He didn't get any run support in that game, so hopefully the Phillies can bring the bats tonight and give him the support that he needs, and he can come out there and get the job done.
Well, back-to-back strikeouts to begin the second is a nice way to keep this game moving for Aaron Harang.
Was this on the pitch or the swing?
I'm thinking pitch.
Either one.
Either one?
Yeah, it was right in the glove.
I think he went around on this.
Yeah, but then Vic Carapazza couldn't punch him out with his little emphasis.
Very true.
Here's Peter Borges. Fouls it away. Carapazza behind home plate.
I like what I see him, Ben. You talked about the command. He's painting. Fastball, got some life right on the outside corner.
It's all about fastball command. When I was catching, I just tried to get my pitchers to command that fastball, because basically pitching, it revolves around the heater. It does.
1-1 pitch to Borges inside.
It's so amazing the difference. It's hard to believe from 60 feet 6 inches that a human being can hit spots over home plate like that. But it's so amazing in baseball, the difference of when the same speed pitch enters home plate sort of in the midsection. In other words, it splits the middle of the plate, or you know what I mean. If it's not on the corners, how easy it is for hitters to hit them, right? But put the ball on the corners, it's a totally different story.
And you think about it, it's only 17 inches wide. I think it's 17, that's nothing. But to try and have to cover both sides of the plate, it's the hardest thing to do.
With pinpoint accuracy. Some have it, some don't. Here's the 3-2 pitch to Borges. Curveball and foul.
You know, that if we're here, we can't do this. We can't concentrate enough to do it. But if we count good pitch, bad pitch, good pitch, bad pitch, that was a bad pitch, right? Pitchers get lucky. Hitters get, and he got lucky right there. It was a slider over the middle of the plate. There was a fastball down the middle. You get lucky. Gets it at somebody. I don't know. Right?
Yeah.
It's a game of percentages. You keep going out there. You keep trying to make good pitches. Sometimes they're going to line them out. Sometimes they're going to miss them.
Rob Ellis, Julian Mealy, Sarah Baker, and Barrett Brooks on Breakfast on Broad, presented by Virtua Joint Replacement Institute. Weekday mornings from 6 until 8 right here on the Comcast Networking, streaming live on breakfastonbroad.com. Home half of the second inning. Ryan Howard will lead things off. Howard 236 with 13 home runs and 33 runs batted in. 21 career home runs and 64 career RBIs against the St. Louis Cardinals. Remember, the Phillies only play them twice a year, or 2 series a year. They don't play them like they play the Braves or the Mets or the Nationals.
You see the discussion recently, one of the bench coaches on a team where I was watching a game, they're getting ready to, I think it was Nick Leyva. In fact, I was watching you guys.
Pirates game?
Talking, but I think maybe I got the other feed.
You may have gotten the Pirates.
They were talking about naming the defenses. You got the Howard, you got another hitter in the league, the Freeman, you got
McCutcheon.
Yeah,
they'll
play certain defenses will get famous names.
So this one has to be the Howard.
Oh, it's definitely the Howard.
He goes down on strikes, one away.
Fourth outfielder. Ben, like you, Ryan will probably get a steady diet at a nasty cutter on his back leg, which is that when he tops foul or swings over. And I used to hate it from left-handed pitchers.
Yep. Dominic Brown 3 for 19 since his call up, takes a strike. It's 0-1.
And especially if you can command the fastball inside. If that's what Steve Carlton made a living. You command that fastball inside, then you see it. It's on the same plane, and then it's at the bottom of your feet. Oh, lucky dog.
Yep, I think we were all up here going, oops, he misplayed that one up. It went in his glove. That's called getting it in between right there.
Scruggs played first base because of the injury to Matt Adams.
And sometimes you get caught in between, but you have good hands. That was really a short, what do you call it, in between hop?
In between, you know, and he was pretty close to it to get the big hop too. Cody Ashley's now the batter. Cody hitting .227, 2 home runs, 6 runs batted in. Inside, it's 2-0.
You know, there weren't a whole lot of positives to talk about in last night's game, but Cody Ashley, one positive, came up, nice pinch hit, single to right field, had a couple good swings during that entire at bat.
Since he's been brought back up to play left field, he's hitting under 200. And I think that's surprising to a lot of people. I don't know if it's the concentration of playing the outfield and switching positions, but he's been light with the batting average. That gentleman was able to make that grab. Tonight's game is also available in Spanish. Just use the SAP button on your television or change the language through the menu on your cable box.
You know, sometimes when things aren't going good, you get caught up in the mechanics of hitting. You really think, you start believing you need a perfect swing to get a hit. You need a perfect swing to hit a line drive, and you start thinking about your swing up there and trying to produce that perfect swing. You become a little lethargic. Your concentration's not on what it should be. You're not a tough enough guy in the plate or at the plate. And sometimes you got to make an adjustment away from the mechanics to just looking at that pitcher, staring at him and say, you know, in your own mind, I'm tougher than you are. You're not getting me out. Let's get it on right here. I'm going to win this battle. And I really think that attitude, the change in attitude for Cody would be big for him.
That one's hit well. Deep to right field. Towering shot. It is gone. Home run, Cody Ashley. A solo shot. The Phillies jump out to a 1-0 lead.
Yaka.
Slatington, Pennsylvania, was our McDonald's home run jackpot contestant, and she just won $100.
That is a cement mixer. Supposed to be a slider. You can see a little dot on that baseball, and that ball went a long way.
So Lauren Rubenhold of Slatington winning $100. The first home run for Cody since April 22nd.
I was kind of caught up, and I'm very happy right now for Cody. A hit like that can just make that happen. What I was talking about before. I mean, you need something like that just to change the whole thing around.
Well, he had gotten that a little bit ahead on that foul ball. That was a breakable. Yep. But he had gotten a little head on that foul ball.
Yeah, but it was a good swing. It was just out in front of him, but he peppered it down the right field line. It was foul, and that's the same thing he did last night before getting the single.
1-2 pitch to Galvis.
You know, and in that bet, well, Freddie's got a good one going here too. He didn't take any pitches from strike. You know, he's a little lethargic, taking some call third strikes, and you know what I mean, getting behind in counts, and he was in charge in that at bat.
That one into the dugout just behind Larry Boa. It remains 1-2 to Freddie Galvis.
You're right, though, Mike. Guys get, and I was a victim of it, you get so caught up in mechanics. Timing is what hits the baseball. Timing. My dad told me that since I was, could walk. And it's true. It's all about timing. And there's a ton of guys in the league that have played in the league that have 3,000 hits with some of the ugliest swings you could ever imagine. Roberto Clemente, for one. Not a very pretty swing, but his timing was on point.
That one's lined to center field. And Borges makes the catch. Side is retired, but the Phillies do strike first. Their first hit provided the first run. A solo home run for Cody Ashley. He hooks this breaking ball into the seats in right field. So the Phils take a 1-0 lead as we move to the top of the third here in Philadelphia. Log on to Phillies.com. Go to the fans section for all the information, and please submit your answer on the subject line. All right, guys, here's the question. Who won the National League Gold Glove at third base in 1975? Who won the National League Gold Glove at third base in 1975? As John Lackey takes the first pitch down and away, 1-0. Answer will be revealed in just a little bit. I hope this wasn't a sore subject for you, Mike.
Not at all. Got to give it to somebody every now and then.
1 ball, 1 strike to Lackey. Lackey 1 for 20 so far this year. Down the right field line, that'll slice out of play.
You can't hog them all.
I will, Ben, I'll handle that one. No sweat.
Can't hog them all, but Jim Cott and Greg Maddux certainly did.
Brooks.
And Brooks Robinson. We talked about him the other night, yeah. And a called strike 3. Lackey seemed to be pretty content with that. Third strikeout for Aaron Harang.
So what was the deal? We'd be better off with me in the dugout with 1 out than we would with me hitting a single. Is that why Lackey was standing there taking?
It really did seem that way. He did seem like he was content with heading on back to the dugout.
He was exhausted.
Did he get the take sign with 2 strikes? The take sign with 2 strikes.
Now the pitch was a high strike, but it was still in the plate.
Oh, that nicked his arm.
Sure did.
Hey, but by the way, Ben.
Yes.
We are pitching a little inside here tonight.
Yes, we are.
We're pitching a lot inside. We've hit 2 guys tonight. That's good. That'll have a positive effect as the game goes on.
Well, and even beyond that, there have been other hitters that he hasn't hit, but he has come inside after working the ball on the outside part of the plates. It's so important, I guess, for pitchers to. Pedro Martinez said this the other day. I was watching, I guess he was on the MLB Network. He said, I am not going to give the hitter any piece of the plate. I want all of it, inside, outside.
Wow.
Carpenter takes a strike. It's 0-1. But I guess if you're a pitcher, you have to have that mentality.
Yeah, I thought even the mean one said the outside's mine. The rest, if you're taking the outside corner away from me, I got to do something about it. And that's kind of like the old days, the philosophy in the old days. That's where I can feed my family.
Yeah. Well, he's one of the new mean ones. 0-1 to Carpenter. Runner goes. Pitch is fouled down the left field line.
Well, if anyone could do it, it would be Pedro. And to do it because he had the stuff to do it.
Right.
I mean, he was the best I ever faced. Hands down, no questions asked. The best. And it was not a comfortable at bat. And I was batting left-handed.
Well, I'll tell you, There's a lot of pitchers in the Hall of Fame, and most of them had a mean streak. Exceptions to that rule might have been maybe a Tom Seaver. Comfortable 0 for 4, 96, 97 mile an hour fastball, slider.
Here,
Just
hit it if you can.
Yeah, exactly. Let me think.
Even a Greg Maddux who threw
87,
88. He was a bulldog
pop you
out there.
inside every now and then for sure.
Ground ball to first. Howard's got it. Quick throw to second. They'll get one. That's it. So
Good.
3-6 on the putout.
Good play by Freddie Galvis. Not trying to make too much out of that. Once he got the wide throw on the infield side, he just made sure he caught it and got the out. Here it is right here. Ryan threw a ball balance to the inside, and Freddie acted as a first baseman, which was the right play. Now, had the throw been more over Wong's head, he might have been able to turn it.
Yeah, they're fortunate on that because that was starting to tail. Oops.
Well, as a left-handed first baseman or even right-handed coming off that bag, you have to make sure you clear a lane for yourself to throw in. If you just get it and fire, you're going to hit the runner in the back.
Johnny Peralta singled through the right side his first time up, where that vacant hole is right now. Pitch in the dirt, 1 ball, no strikes. Aaron has been very good here at Citizens Bank Park despite his struggles recently overall. 2-3 with an earned run average, and this is the important part, of just under 2 here at Citizens Bank Park. They throw behind Carpenter, and he is out at first base. Chris Mahoney says, wait, hold on 1 second. Let's hold the defense.
Yeah, they're gonna if they can review this one, although it's early in the game. It looked from here like he got back. But man, no one has a better view of that than that umpire right there. He's right on top of it.
Now that is considered a tag play, just in case everybody's wondering as far as review goes. Take a look at it.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, I think he's out. I don't think they'll review that. Well, they may review it, but they would lose their challenge because he looks out. Yeah, he just died right in the baseline.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Great
exactly.
shot.
I mean, if he slid a little bit later, he'd have got in, but he kind of like hit the mud there, the dirt, and went, nothing happened.
Phillies will take it. They're up 1-0 as we go to the bottom of the third. John Lackey. Carlos Ruiz just made was one of his best throws of the year on that pickoff play. First guy he's picked off this season. I think it's the first guy he's picked off in a couple seasons. He doesn't do it that often. Swing and a miss. 0-1.
And it was a ball in the dirt, so he had to pick it first, make the exchange, and still make a firm throw to first.
I got a question. Carlos had a toothpick in his mouth.
You know, somebody asked me that the other day, and I said, no, I don't think so. But I just looked down, and
that's some relaxed hitting there.
There is something in his mouth. Oh, yeah, there's something there.
A straw.
I'm gonna tell you what that is, because I use them. That's one of those picks for between your teeth. You know, they have the flat end on it, and the other, you know,
little piece of floss of some sort.
Yeah.
Right out of UL Washington's book, right there. Out to right field, and Hayward.
I like it. You know, man, let's make you relax. It makes you relax.
Well, with one out, Aaron Harang's coming up. Let's check in with Greg Murphy. Murph.
All right, thanks a lot, Tom. Well, you know, we talk so much about this Cardinals offense, and rightly so. Certainly one of the best in baseball, and the Phillies have experienced that and seen that firsthand this season. But what about their pitching staff? It's not talked about as much, but take a look at the numbers that they are putting up. Team ERA, 2.64. That's best in baseball. 31 wins for starters, also best in baseball. Opponents' batting average, 243. The bullpen ERA is number one, and 192 runs allowed this season so far for the Cardinals. Also tops among all major league teams, and no other team is under 200. So certainly the Cardinals pitching staff has done their job and to get this team 21 games over 500. They've been fantastic this year, no doubt about it, guys.
Yeah, Derek Loquist, who we just saw while Murph was talking, took over for Dave Duncan, who was with the Cardinals and with Tony La Russa for a long time. And he's done a nice job of keeping the train moving as far as the Cardinals go. How about their bullpen the last 3 months? 1.15 ERA, 2.63 ERA, and 1.59 ERA back in April. So 1.15 here in the month of June. See the ball strike ratio for John Lackey.
Well, Tom, here's the good news for the Phillies and for Phillies fans. John Lackey has made 6 starts on the road so far this season, and he's 0-3 with an ERA over 6, so he obviously doesn't seem to appear to enjoy pitching on the road, or at least hasn't had a whole lot of success, and he hasn't had a whole lot of success in his career here at Citizens Bank Park either. The Phils will certainly hope that continues tonight.
Well, if he's anything like me on the road, he won't want to get out of bed.
That one's grounded to second base, and up with it is Long. The side is retired. So the Phillies go down 1-2-3. They have 1 hit. It's the home run by Ashe, but it's given them a 1-0 lead as we move to the 4th. Is all we do. Call 1-800-JEFF now or visit jefferson.edu. And by Nissan. Choose Nissan today for great offers on our most exciting lineup ever. Shop Nissan.com. Top half of the 4th inning, along with Ben Davis, Mike Schmidt, Greg Murphy. I'm Tom McCarthy. It's 1-0 Phillies on a home run by Cody Ashe. Here's Johnny Peralta. He was up when Ruiz Picked off Matt Carpenter at first. Our assessment was right. Ruiz didn't pick anybody off last year. His last one was in June of 2013 against the Dodgers. Line drive over the glove of Galvis.
Well, need I say more about the fastball that's supposed to be in off the plate or away on the outside corner and left right down the middle? Boom!
Certainly boom.
Watch where this pitch is.
Supposed to be down and away.
Oof.
Big league hitters don't miss that pitch.
He's lucky it stayed in the yard. Honestly.
Yes, he is.
Here's Jason Hayward. He flied to center his first time up.
I should say most big league hitters don't miss that pitch.
Ball, one strike to Jason Hayward. Hayward last night was 2 for 5 with a run scored and a double for the Cardinals. Fly ball, shallow right center field. Here comes Dominic Brown. And there's one out. The always spectacular Xfinity fireworks. And this year the fireworks are going to be played with the Philadelphia Orchestra music in the background. They are Wednesday, July 1st. That's a 7:05 first pitch. And Thursday, July 2nd, which is a 6:35 first pitch. Fireworks will take place after the ball game between the Phils and the Brewers. Tickets can be purchased by going to Phillies.com. There's Yadier Molina, who ended the first with a fielder's choice to short. Hit the dirt, 1-0. Be hard pressed to find a catcher that is any better than Yadier Molina during his time in the game. That's a fair ball. Cody Ash is going to try to get it out of the corner. Rounding third and hitting for home is Peralta. Galvis' throw to the plate will be cut off by Franco. It's an RBI double, and the Cardinals have tied it up at 1.
A long way to run for a big man.
Yep.
You know, Cody Ash didn't know if it was going to hit that cutout where the ball girl sits or if it was going to elude that and get down to the wall, and it did miss that cutout and makes its way all the way down. The hanging breaking ball here by Aaron Harang, and he rifles it down the left field line.
You're right, Ben. Watch this ball right here. Cody, I think, decided that he was kind of actually didn't decide. I think he was more caught in between. A foot to the left, it hits the wall, but I have no idea about outfield play, but I'm looking at that thinking, you know, if he plays it to go into the corner, the run doesn't score.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I mean, if there is an option, you know, take the one that's going to prevent the run from scoring, because if it does hit the wall, they're going to hold him at third because you can run and get him and hold him. But if it gets in the corner and you take some time to get it out, run score.
Yeah, and I agree with you, Mike. I think that you go to the corner, and then if it hits the wall, you can always come forward easier than going back.
And by the way, Freddie probably should sprint to that point in the outfield in case it caroms, you know, into short left field.
No balls, 2 strikes to Grichuk. 1 run is in for the Cardinals. They've tied this game up at 1 apiece. They have Molina at second base. Little dribbler foul. Grichuk struck out his first time up. He struck out swing. He and Scruggs, who's on deck. Bit outside, 1-2.
Ben, you're the catcher. You and I are just motioning to each other. I mean, that was a good time right there if you're confident enough and you can do it and it's in your repertoire to move him back off the plate, move his upper body, throw a ball right there at his left elbow, get him off the plate. Just show the Cardinals team that this ain't going to be a comfortable game.
You know what, Mike? It's a lost art in the fact that pitchers don't know how to do it. They flat out just don't know how to do it. Ever since they started pitching, they're taught down, work the corners, work down. And they just don't know how to buzz a tower.
You got away with one right there.
Fly ball center field. Revere's under it. Molina's not tagging. And there are 2 gone. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Budweiser. Budweiser is still brewed the hard way. This Bud's for you. Ben, you need any peppers or onions?
I'm good.
We have some. Here's that last pitch.
Yeah. Now watch this, Ben. Tommy. See this? No movement at all of that upper body on a nasty, on a hard breaking ball that's left over the middle of the plate. You get lucky because he doesn't drive it out of the ballpark. He just misses it. But if he's got in his mind, if he's got in his mind that this pitcher, that Harang's a little uncomfortable tonight, he doesn't know where the ball's gone. I don't know what to call it. But I mean, if he's just a bit uncomfortable about the up and in pitch, he won't stay on that breaking ball like that.
And this was a hanger.
Look at this.
It's one you see in your dreams.
And it was almost like he was 100% sure that ball was going to break over the plate.
Now it's hit sharply, flagged down on one hop by Ryan Howard, and a little fleet V to Harang. The side is retired. That ball was scorched by Scruggs. And Howard in the right place, right time. At least we should say his glove was in the right place at the right time. And it stops Molina from possibly scoring the go-ahead run, and it takes us to the bottom of the 4th. WB Mason's wide selection of Green Mountain Coffee K-Cup pods to keep you running. Order by 11:30 a.m. and get free same-day delivery. Who but WB Mason? Home half of the 4th inning. Looks like somebody had a bus trip today. Ben, did you get a T-shirt?
I did not.
There were a lot of people tailgating outside. I know driving in today, over across the street at the parking lot where Lincoln Financial Field is, or even behind the stadium here. Chase Utley leads it off. And it's 1 ball and no strikes to Utley.
There were a lot of go-karts over there today.
A lot of go-karts?
Yeah, they had like a go-kart convention or something.
Really?
Drove by it.
Did you want to get out and
say? No, last night I won New Kids on the Block.
Oh, yeah. Fly ball, shallow left center. I think Borges, the center fielder, will make the call, and there's one away. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, Mets and the Braves are going at it down in Atlanta. Travis d'Arnaud has a 2-run single to give the Mets a 2-1 lead. They lead the division right now, the National League East. Actually, they're basically tied now with the Nationals getting their victory today. Max Scherzer throwing the second no-hitter in Nationals, the brief Nationals history.
The most anticlimactic no-hitter of all time.
Do you know it's the 13th potential perfect game broken up with 2 outs in the 9th inning in baseball history? 13th. Do you guys think that Jose Tabata leaned into that pitch?
Absolutely.
I do.
Yeah, you know, a little. That's a tough one for me.
That one's toward the hole, backhanded by Peralta, who flips over to first, not in time. Infield single for Maikel Franco. Well, here are the last 3 outs. Max Scherzer under 100 pitches as the 9th inning got underway. He gets Polanco on this unbelievable play by Rendon to balance himself after making the catch. Jordy Mercer also jammed on this one, and Denard Span was able to clean it up. Now, Tabata fouled off a few pitches. In fact, he had a heck of it at bat, and then boop.
Yeah, that's the pad on the elbow move right there.
And here's Josh Harrison in the final out.
Close out the game. Just missed a home run, actually. Might have been a little bush league. What do you think, Ben? Sticking the elbow out. I'll tell you what, 6-0 could be labeled that a little bit, you know.
I just don't know
1-0, 2-1, hell of a play.
I just don't know how you can tell yourself as a hitter.
If you got a pad on your arm.
I know, but it's not something you would intentionally. I could never intentionally do it. So there's been slow breaking balls that have come at me. It's not like I'm like, oh, let me stick my elbow out.
Did you say it in that voice?
No.
Well, he was brilliant, though, today, Scherzer. I mean, he was really good. He's been very good for the Nationals. He's been an unbelievable pickup. You want to talk about fastball command? That man has fastball command.
That man's got one that hops. They'll tell you that it doesn't, but it must.
Unbelievable pickup. He signed a $250 million contract.
Well, maybe I should reword that.
It cost a little more than Lackey, huh?
Yeah, he did. A tremendously smart businessman, Max Scherzer. 2 balls and 1 strike to Ryan Howard. Howard struck out his first time up. Franco leads off first.
Well, he probably only gets to take home about 150, 140.
But he'll be able to do it. He'll be able to do it for a long time because it's deferred money also. Well, this is what he did today. 106 pitches. I would think 8 of them came against Tabata in that at bat. First pitch strikes 22. So his last 2 starts, 18 innings, 26 strikeouts.
So those are the formula numbers. That's the template for a no-hitter, in case anybody out there wants to know.
Here's his pitch selection for today. 4-seam fastball, 59.
He was still 97 miles an hour in the 9th inning.
How about what toothpaste he used this morning? Do you have that?
It's got to be Newcrest gel or something. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Howard.
They got everything.
Swing and a miss, and Howard strikes out for the second time. So 2 outs. 3 strikeouts for Lackey tonight. And Dominic Brown will be the hitter.
This has been ball 4.
Here it comes, Ben.
And Ryan, as he swings through it, again, that's that pitch. It just looks so good. And what he's doing so well, again, he's peppering that inside corner with his fastball. And that's what makes you swing at the breaking ball.
Ben said during the outset that this is a guy who's a bargain at the major league minimum. It's because when he signed his deal, the current deal that he has, there was some language in there that if he got hurt at all, then he would pitch the final year of the deal at the major league minimum. Well, he did get hurt and missed a significant amount of time. And he was adamant during the offseason. He said, listen, I signed it. He goes, I'm going to honor it.
So that's some really veteran control right there. You all call it command of the fastball nowadays, but he just pitches the fastball inside pretty much like he knows Dominic's going to pull it foul.
And that's just the show pitch to get your eyes out back to the outside corner. And I mean, every lefty that's in the lineup tonight, he's inside.
So he pitching strategy, he's got Dominic set up perfectly right now for the same strikeout pitch that he threw Ryan, right?
Yeah, but that's what Yachty called for. He shook to a fastball away.
Just off the outside corner.
Interesting. I would have thought it was just a perfect setup for the slider down and in again.
And again, that's what Yachty called. I saw the 3 inside, and he shook to that heater away.
You know what? The only other thing I don't know what to think of is that you got the big hole between first and second. The slider down and in is almost asking for a top ground ball that way.
Yeah, but if that's the pitch you feel like you can execute and get strikeout with, then that's what he's going to throw.
Going to go breaking ball. Runner goes, pitches outside, ball 4.
I don't get that at all.
I don't get it either from a pitcher catcher standpoint, for sure. I don't.
I mean, Dominic Brown's happy. And the Phillies have something going, but there's no reason to throw a curveball there.
You got the guy that just raked you over the right field wall on deck.
Well, we take a look at our T-Mobile game changer, fewest pitches per inning, and Lackey, he was basically on form for the first 3 innings, averaging just over 14 per inning, which is 4th currently in Major League Baseball. Ground ball softly off the glove of Scruggs, but he recovers in time to retire Ashley. No runs, a 1 hit, and 2 men left. We have played 4. Time for the top of the 5th inning here in South Philadelphia. Cardinals and the Phillies even at 1. right, guys, here we go. Who won the National League Gold Glove at third base in 1975? Mike?
Ken Reitz.
Ken Reitz. Who was second?
You have who was second?
No, I don't have that.
Actually, I don't know, but good. There you go. Oh, wait a minute. I see. I'm looking at the monitor right now. Doug Rader. Yeah, he was a fantastic defensive third base for many years for Houston.
So
Ken Reitz, and then number 20's reign started.
That's exactly right. From 76 to 84.
I asked Mike. I said, Mike, what happened in '85? Tim Wallach won it. He goes, I played first base that year.
How did you not win it at first base?
That's a good question.
No one knew about me. Keith Hernandez.
Oh, okay.
But then Mike got back in '86 and won another one.
Peter Borges takes low, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
The incumbent is a pretty strong candidate every year in the Gold Glove. Trust me about that.
I had forgot about Doug Rader.
So did I, actually.
Chopper foul.
Well, there's a lot of good ones. Hall of Famer Ron Santo. Ken Boyer.
Ken Boyer was very good.
Both before my day, I might add.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. And a call. Strike 3.
Fastball command.
Strikeout number 4 for Aaron Harang.
And you might as well just take that pitch because you're not going to do anything with it anyway. So you might as well save yourself a good bat.
Boy, he did dot that right there.
He sure did.
Here's Lackey. Lackey's not going to do anything, at least based on his last at bat. So, I mean, you weren't a third baseman coming up, but did you have a favorite third baseman?
Brooks Robinson. Are you kidding me? That's an easy question to answer. See, now there's a guy that had to take on his last at bat with 2 strikes.
That's a second double of the year.
Racky tack in a double after taking his first time up.
He was playing possum is what he was doing.
Yeah, setting us up.
Someone should have reminded him where first base was.
Yes. He did have a little trouble finding it right
Walking
there.
on eggshells around first base there.
Whoops, where is that bag? Oh, there it is.
Well, here's Colton Wong with a runner in scoring position.
Bag's been there for 100 years.
Wong pops it towards shallow left field. Galvis and Ashe, and it's going to be Cody that makes the call and puts it away. 2 outs. And that'll bring Carpenter to the plate.
Well, according to my good friend Tim McCarver, who sees a lot of these St. Louis Cardinals, he called me last night, was thinking about me, and his first statement to me was, Colton Wong cannot hit a high fastball.
He swings so hard.
We haven't talked in a long time.
And that's the first thing he said to you.
That's right.
Not Mike, how you feeling?
That's right. He said that afterwards, but we started talking about Colton Wong and the high fastball right out of the chute. And he's proven it a couple of times since Timmy called.
I would think that Tim Carver loves Matt Carpenter.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he does, without question. We talked about him as well. But he also, Wong did hit a home run in that game.
Yeah, he did.
It was a breaking ball, though.
Yeah, it was
a breaking ball
breakable
in the middle of the zone, middle down and in. But all the other at-bats, he struck out a couple times. He swings so hard.
This Matt Carpenter could be the most underrated player in the league.
He had a little bit of a speed bump earlier this year where he got injured and was playing through it a lot of times. But he was on pace to eclipse his individual record for doubles.
It wasn't an injury, wasn't he
exhausted.
hospitalized?
Oh, it was exhaustion. That's right. That's what it was finally termed as. Yeah,
Murph and I talked about it last night. He gets to the field at noon every day.
Right.
Just tireless worker. And basically, he was worn out. And they told him, they went on a road trip and said, stay home. They literally said, you're staying here.
So he had 55 doubles one year, and when we were in St. Louis earlier this season, we're sitting there thinking, man, he is going to shatter 55 doubles. Now, he's not on pace to do that now. He has 20. But at that point, I mean, he literally was on pace to blow it away.
Ben, what's your call here on that meeting Chooch and Harang right there? Couldn't have been, let's be careful with this guy with the Peralta on deck. It couldn't have been, what's the sign? Maybe they got the signs with Lackey on second base. What do you think?
I think it was something technical because, you know, I would not pitch around Carpenter here with Peralta on deck. I mean, he's swinging the hot bat Peralta is, and it's a tough out right now.
There is Johnny Peralta.
I don't think it was over signs. Lackey's not even looking out there.
Well, we'll know based on this pitch.
Well, now
right
I wouldn't give him anything. 3-1. But at 2-1 count, the pitch before, I'd be aggressive with it.
And he fouls it off to the left and out of play. It's 3-2. That's a nice job by that fella right there. Giving that young lady the baseball.
I've always thought this is a tough pitch. The 3-2 pitch with first base open. I mean, I've always thought as a hitter, it's a real tough pitch to deal with.
Well, you never had to do it, but try it in the 8-hole with the pitcher hitting behind you.
Well,
talk about tough.
That's not true. I spent a little time in the 8-hole, bro.
A long time ago. You see those numbers of the runners in scoring position. I mean, 447. Wow. His bases loaded numbers are even better, hitting over 600. Fortunately, that's not the case here. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs. And he lays off, and it's just a bit low.
Wow.
Well, that's a walk for Aaron Harang. He's hit 2 batters. He's now walked 1 batter. And he's got Johnny Peralta to deal with again, Murph. And Johnny Peralta has not been an easy out for Aaron Harang during his career.
He has not at all. He hasn't been an easy out for just about anybody in the National League this year. Johnny Peralta, of course, leads all shortstops in the All-Star voting, rightly so. He leads all Cardinals in batting average, hits, home runs, and RBIs. And as you said, Aaron Harang has had a hard time in his career against them. 13 for 35, including the 2 hits tonight. He has done a real good job against Aaron Harang. So, you know, you guys were just talking about whether you're careful with Matt Carpenter. That's, I guess, what this Cardinals lineup does to you, because you've got to pick your poison at some point. And Johnny Peralta swinging, as Ben said, as hot of a bat as anybody right now.
Well, we'll see how Harang pitches him here. It looks like that's a fastball away, and he steps off.
Well, it looked like to the previous hitter, a slider down and in, a cutter or something off the plate down and in, and he laid off of Carpenter. So
that one's pulled foul.
He must want Peralta because he sure didn't stick the fastball right in there to Carpenter.
No, he's going righty on righty here. There's that pitch that we're talking about, the last one.
What kind of changeup or something? Looked like he had a full 4-fingered grip on that ball when he let it go.
I don't know if Aaron can't see the signs right now by Chooch or
just indecisive.
Yeah, he's a lot of stepping off an awful lot.
Lays off, and it's 2-1.
Yeah, Peralta, you can tell he's in a relaxed state at the plate. He's not jumping out at the ball, not trying to go get it. He's confident in his hands.
Softly back towards shortstop. Galvis is up with it. And the side is retired. No runs, 1 hit, and 2 men left. Middle of the 5th inning here at Citizens Bank Park. And we're tied up at 1. Hondas. Hurry to your local Del Val Honda dealer or visit DelValHondaDealers.com today. By WB Mason, you can't go wrong when you buy right. And buy the Quality Plus Ford stores. Go further. Last of the fifth inning, a well-pitched game between John Lackey and Aaron Harang. Lackey so far has allowed just 2 hits, including a home run by Cody Ashe. Aaron Harang, meanwhile, has scattered 4 hits. Got out of a jam in his last half inning. Chatting with Bob McClure. Jeff Rancourt is also involved in that conversation. And Tucker, the bat boy. It'll be Freddie Galvis, Carlos Ruiz, and Aaron Harang to bat here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Well, certainly not something that we thought we would see here this year. Rally Squirrel, go back to St. Louis or else. The reference to the squirrel in the playoffs several years ago and the squirrel last night that was doing a high wire act.
I have that exact trap, and I'm serious.
Well,
exact
why don't
trap.
You bring it as a prop one time? Can't you think outside the box like that, young lady? Galvis bunts toward third. It's a beauty. Carpenter's throw not in time. That is an outstanding bunt.
Useful. Outstanding bunt, especially if you saw Molina gesture to Carpenter before the at bat that he might bunt. He drops down a blueprint.
That is perfect, and there was no way that was going to go foul. I don't even know why Carpenter threw that ball. Why risk throwing it away?
What an item to add to your inventory, to your repertoire, right? If you're Galvis.
And I think, like you said, Mike, it's funny because we all saw Molina remind both cornermen, hey, look out for the bunt, look out for the bunt. And Freddie was standing right there when he did it.
There's another thing you can add to your repertoire. Eye black on one eye.
I was wondering about that.
Yeah, he wiped it off.
Is there a remnant of it there?
There's right on his shirt, right on his left shoulder.
Runner goes, pitches hit foul. Galvis had a really good jump. Now, this is not an easy guy to steal against. In fact, Yadier is third in throwing guys out in the National League.
Freddie's got something going there. I hope it's not a high pull there on his left hamstring, his left quad.
Yeah, he is holding.
There he's got an underwear malfunction. Timeout.
I think he's having a.
I think he's having a malfunction.
Timeout.
A protection.
My cup broke.
Yeah, that's what's happening. And there it is. Ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, that's not going to make the news.
Sammy's like, I'm not going to take that. Put it in your pocket.
Your cup comes out your knee.
Good for Freddie.
No balls in one strike to Ruiz. 0-2. I think the best is that he put it in his back pocket because nobody wanted to grab it. Well, that cheek will be protected if he slides.
Man, I thought he pulled a quad muscle or something there for a second.
Time is called as that pitch was being delivered. Yeah, where's that squirrel?
I have Seinfeld on my brain right now, and Kramer talking about I'm loose and I'm loving it. There's nothing between us.
Carlos. And he bunts it toward first. Scruggs will flip it over to the second baseman, Colton Wong. Sacrifice is successful. 3-4 on the putout.
How about this conversation out here at second base right now? I know we couldn't understand it, but
you could assume
they're having some laughs out there. They surely are.
He's got one shade. He's got one eye with eye black under it. He's got a cup in his back pocket. Who is this guy?
He needs to score a run right now so that he can go up in the clubhouse and make a wardrobe change.
Revere takes a breaking ball. It's 0-1. Revere's grounded out twice, once to short, once to second.
Tell you what, it's 0-2 now, but Freddie got a little feisty out there at second base. That's not a bad play if you know you can steal it. Of course, you have Molina behind the plate. I understand that, but as many infield hits as Revere gets, a ball in the infield, there's some serious heat on the infield with a runner on third.
Did you care if a guy was dancing like that? Did you guys care?
No, I didn't like it. No, I didn't like it. I mean, I was very sensitive to that. I didn't. The first base coach down there right now, Juan Samuel, used to steal second sometimes when I was hitting, and I didn't like it. I kept telling him, you're in scoring position at first base when I'm hitting.
In the dirt.
And I only say that because I probably hit, more doubles and home runs than I did singles with with a man on second base.
And he could score
because they're pitched to you when he's on first base.
Oh, I see what you're saying. That makes sense. Again, a foul ball over the Cardinals dugout.
It's truly not to say that the guys behind me couldn't knock him in. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying like a hitter like Ryan Howard with a right-handed pitcher that he hits well on the mound, it doesn't make sense to me to steal second base, open up first base for the pitcher to have the option now to toy with Ryan Howard.
Broke his back, ground ball. And side is retired. 3 unassisted at first base. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left. We'll move to the 6th inning. Still tied at 1. Finishing off wins with absolute confidence. Just over a year from his major league debut, Giles has taken the ball and fired his way into solidifying the 8th inning role. His career ERA hovers around 1.5, and he's setting things up for Jonathan Papelbon, who is closing the door with the best of them. The all-time Phillies saves leader has been nearly perfect in save situations over the last calendar year. His ERA is among the best in the closer category, and it's brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. Well, the Hatfield Philly Franks are being shot off by the Fanatic and Bessie. I don't know how they got Bessie into the back of that cart. And the rest of the Galapagos gang are in the stands, hoping that they shoot off some hot dogs their way. Jason Hayward leads it off. Hayward takes a strike. It's 0-1. We begin the top of the 6th inning. Well-pitched game so far. I mean, I know it's 1-1, but sometimes that doesn't always tell the story.
Anytime you can neutralize this lineup, which Aaron Harang has done thus far, I think it's into the 6th inning here. That's not easy to do because these guys are so professional with their at-bats.
Well, they're professional for sure. For me, a lot like the San Francisco Giants. Work tough at-bats. Stay in the middle of the field a lot. But remember, Matt Holliday's not in that lineup.
Right. Matt
Adams is not in that lineup.
Out of play. It's
2-2. Tonight, John Jay. Some serious weapons.
Well, coming into yesterday's game, and Murph and Ben talked about it last night. This was a struggling offense, but against the Phillies, they're hitting .315. They had been hitting .211 with 5 runs in the 3 games before last night's 16 hit and 6 extra base hit outburst as that one is rolled right into right field by Hayward. Saturday, July 18th, when the Phillies take on the Miami Marlins, it's Apple Vacations Photo Night presented by Now Resorts and Spas, a free magnetic photo frame for all fans. Come out early to take photos of your favorite Phillies. Tickets can be purchased by going to Phillies.com. Photo Day is always a popular day here at Citizens Bank Park. We've been doing it for years. You did it when you played, right? Photo Day?
Oh, that was a rough one. Yes, we did. Yes.
The hot turf of the Vet. Outside 1-0.
It was awful.
The Vet?
So hot.
Oh, I think you meant Photo Day.
No.
It's like, I didn't know you did that.
Good hit run situation right here. We'd be careful. I mean, I fire a pitch out there, but Molina, good go to right field guy. But he's also good enough hitter. You don't want to force him to swing at a bad ball. But it is a good time.
Time is called. Thought it was interesting. Mike Matheny, after last night's ball game, he said, "We can't put up 12 every night, but I think tonight shows my guys that we have it in us to do." And that was in response to his struggling offense. Runner goes, pitches hit right through the hole on the left side on the hit and run. Hayward does not advance to third. But the fact he was going opened up that hole for Yadier Molina, and now it's first and second with nobody out here in the 6th. Well, this is what you were talking about.
Just the way they drew it out. A lot of times you have these thoughts about situations in games that they don't come true. And when they do, you don't want to say, "See, I told you so." But it really was perfect. And I think they smelled it a little bit too. He was holding the ball. He threw over to first base.
And the reason that Freddie was covering it was a fastball away, supposedly. Now that pitch ends up on the inner half, and Yadi pulls it in that direction.
You're right, and it also, as it turns out to be first and second rather than first and third if Chase covers, and if Molina has the ability to see who covers and then hit the ball. I mean, that would be amazing.
Breaking ball, and it's 1-0 to Grichuk. LA Angels selected Randall Grichuk in the first rounds, 1 pick ahead of Mike Trout. How about that draft for the Angels? So they were able to get the Grichuk's pick for Francisco Rodriguez signing with the Mets, and they were able to get the Trout pick because he signed with the Yankees. Mark Teixeira signed with the Yankees. So these guys were back to back. 1 ball, 1 strike.
You got a call right there. That ball is normally high. Ooh. Someone in the Cardinals dugout agrees with me on that one. You know, there's a ball that really is letter high. Book says it's a strike, but it's never called.
Top of the zone.
Now the Phillies dugout's going to scream at the umpire.
I thought he went. How come they never asked me? They should appeal up to the booth.
Uh-oh, that means that we go on a replay. Runners lead off. Fly ball, center field. Revere on the run. It's over his head and into the bullpen. Wow. Off the wall of the bullpen. A 3-run home run for Grichuk. And it's now 4-1. Cardinals on top.
Now you know why they took him ahead of Trout.
That was a shot.
Yes, it was. Second home run of the series, right?
He got one off Justin DeFreitas last night. And this is a, I mean, that's fastball
absolutely
split
beautiful.
the plate any more than that? Very strong, quick swing there by Randal Grichuk. And you're right, that ball was tattooed.
It took off. I mean, I wasn't sure if it was going to go out or not, but it went out by about 25 feet. Scruggs is retired. 6-3 in the putout. 1 away here in the 6th inning after the 3-run home run. Well, that'll quiet things a little bit. Here's Peter Borges, who's 0 for 2. He's grounded out and he has gone down looking on strikes.
I find it amazing. Cardinals seem to, they find him. They all of a sudden they're playing. They're there. Grichuk, you got no Matt Holliday in left field, and then this kid's playing instead of Matt Holliday, and he's had 2 home runs and 4 RBIs in 2 days he's been here.
Well, he's got 3 home runs in his last 8 games. Of course, 2, as Mike just said, in this series. Borges waves at the breaking ball, so he is struck out. Ruiz has to hurry the throw because he can run. And there are 2 outs. Coming up later tonight on Comcast Sportsnet, the Philadelphia Union are in the City of Angels to clash with the defending MLS champions, the LA Galaxy. Watch Union at Galaxy tonight at 10:30 on Comcast Sportsnet. John Leckie takes strike 1. It's 0-1. Threw him a curveball.
Well, I think it makes a lot of sense here for him to just take strike 3 and keep from running around the bases.
They got him. So back-to-back strikeouts, 6 strikeouts overall for Harang, but the damage was done on a 3-run home run by Randal Grichuk. We'll move to the bottom of the 6th. The Phillies down 3. McDonald's with a double cheeseburger and small fry for just $2.50. McDonald's, I'm loving it. Buy Chevrolet. Visit your local dealer at ChevyDealer.com. And by Budweiser, still brewed the hard way. This Bud's for you. Well, bottom of the 6th inning here at Citizens Bank Park, and just like that, the Phillies are down 4-1. Phillies offense, which has managed just 3 hits tonight. The run was on a home run by Cody Ashe. Runs have been tough to come by, and now they're going to have to battle to get back into this game against John Lackey. It'll be Chase Utley, Maikel Franco, and Ryan Howard. Utley is 0 for 2. His average down to 179.
That may be the most strange thing that I've ever seen transpire in baseball. Over 250 some plate appearances. Chase Utley hitting 179.
And because it's him.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he does not look any different to me as a hitter. I don't know how he feels inside. I don't know about his bat speed visually. The eye test, Ben. I don't know. From the eye test for me, I don't see any different.
And nothing has changed as far as his work ethic goes either. Pops it up. Shallow center field.
Well, that is something I do see there. And you say bat speed.
No. You're talking about. You're going to tell me about the result or the mechanics?
I see him getting jammed a lot. I mean, I guess that ultimately is the result. But I see.
Do you think
pitchers,
that was a jam or a
I think he
ball
got jammed
on top of the bat?
I think he got jammed. And I see him. A lot more pitchers coming in on him. And I see it's almost like he's not picking the ball up. I see him flailing at pitches.
Here we
this
go.
ball's in.
Yeah, it's got the plate.
You look at the swing, the balance was good.
Yeah, the ball's got the plate. Let's see it again right here. Watch, the ball has the plate, and it's very, very hittable. You know what? As McHale singles to right field, I'm going to beat a dead horse here with Chase, but we talked about Cody earlier in the game trying to be too perfect. Trying to mechanically feel he needs to be mechanically perfect to get the hit. And when you watch Chase right there, he kept his chin down. It was almost like, I'm going to do everything mechanically perfect through that ball, and it got by him just a little bit, versus a swing. The opposite swing would be, I'm going to hit this thing off the Liberty Bell, and maybe popping it up. There's two different kinds of pop-ups, like the over-aggressive pop-up,
right,
or them trying to be too perfect with mechanics pop-up.
Well, whatever it is, as you said, it's startling.
Yes. And it can change, and there's no way it's going to stick around. I mean, Chase is the kind of guy that can go this deep into something like that and become player of the month in August, and turn the whole season around.
It's 1 ball and 1 strike to Ryan Howard. He has struck out twice tonight. Runner at first base. Inside 2-1.
And one last thing on that, I think it's tremendously admirable the way he has handled this whole thing. I mean, he comes to the park every day. He hustles. You never see him loaf on a ground ball. He's all over the field defensively. He plays hard every night with no sense of what his batting average is or how unlucky he's been as a hitter. Very admirable.
Looks like they're going to go fastball in to Ryan Howard. They do, and he pops it up down the left field line. Long run for Grichuk and for Peralta. Neither one get there. 2-2.
Well, that's one advantage to have a shift put on you. There's no one to catch a fly ball foul down the left field line.
Kind of forgot about it for a second. I was sitting there thinking, where the heck is the third baseman? Well, he's over on the right side.
Peralta just ran 150 feet for that ball. I think he's still winded from the double that Yadier hit earlier.
Look at Yadi, John. You got your wind back.
That one's pulled down the right field line, just foul. Playing fantasy baseball, MLB.tv serves up real-time highlights and pitch tracking info on your out-of-market fantasy players live or on demand on over 400 devices. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Get MLB.tv today. Two balls and 2 strikes to Ryan Howard. And Howard lifts it in the air to right field. Hayward going back, looking for room. He's got it, makes the catch. Yeah, there are 2 outs. Little top spin on that one. And that'll bring Dominic Brown to the plate.
It kind of looked like he got it when it left the bat, but
I think that ball may have gotten in on him just a hair.
As you say, sometimes Ryan catches it just right and turns into a top spin. You know, he puts top spin on the ball.
Well, that'll leave it for Dominic Brown, who's 0 for 1 with a walk here tonight.
And just looking from that replay, it really did look like the ball just got in on him hair.
Mm-hmm. Two.
Know what Dom's looking for there.
Really, he got one on the outside corner, one on the inside corner. Sometimes you just forget to take the safety off, man.
That guy just made a tremendous grab on a ball that hit the facing of the suite level. It bounced down on the lower level and took a huge hop toward the top of the dugout, and he was able to grab it. There we go.
I believe all these fans that you see, all the St. Louis hats right behind.
They didn't spill a drop.
Right there are, oh yeah. Are on a junket of sorts from St. Louis.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of that. People just wanted to come to this ballpark and see it. Like the Phillies have the tour out to San Diego.
Well, they got some good seats.
No balls, 2 strikes to Brown. Got a curveball outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. By the way, we understand that the youngster who was hit by the foul ball last night, that Dominic Brown hit into the stands on the first base side, that he is doing okay. Turned out that he had a fractured rib, but is doing just fine. So that's good to hear. You know, Dom was a little concerned about that. In the dirt again, and it's 2-2.
Michael very quietly getting his batting average back up to 282.
He's got 2 hits tonight. 2 of the 4 hits the Phillies have picked up. One of the other ones was the home run by Cody Ashe. And then the bunt single by Freddie Galvis. That's been it tonight, though, against John Lackey.
So all-star game catcher Molina or Posey?
Posey.
They'll both be there, though.
That they will.
He wanted to go upstairs. It's 3-2. Dom started at first, but then looked and saw Franco still at first.
We're back in that position. Well, no, we're not. We have a runner off on the pitch at first base, but still, I mean, pitched to Dominic Brown there. Like, didn't want the ball to be in the hitting zone.
He's going to the breaking ball again, a curveball.
But it goes, and it's pulled foul. Phillies fans, next time you're looking for great seats, get to StubHub, where there are no surprise fees at checkout. That's right. On StubHub, the price you see is the price you pay. StubHub, the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of Phillies.com.
See, here's why I say oftentimes that hitting today is so much harder than it was when I played. I mean, I can't figure it out. With a 3-run lead, guy just hit a home run off of you in the first inning, and another ball hard to first base in the on-deck circle. You're throwing 3 and 2 curveballs to Dominic Brown. If you look at the scoreboard, by the way, has a 150 batting average with no home runs and 1 RBI.
And if you do give up a home run, it's still a 1-run lead. 3-2 pitch, Rudder goes. And he hits a foul. He missed a spot on that.
And I always thought the pitchers that I had that threw curveballs and sliders, a slider was the easier pitch to command to throw for a strike. A curveball, because it breaks more, it has a bigger break to it, was harder to command and throw for a strike. So if you got into that situation, more often I would call for that slider if the situation presented itself.
Is he that good with the curveball that he can throw it for a strike, or doesn't he care whether he throws it for a strike?
He thought he had Dominic Brown there. Instead, he walks it for the second time. And that puts runners on first and second. That's an 11-pitch at bat for Dominic Brown.
After 0-2 on 2 fastballs right there to hit. Well, I'll tell you what, here's Ashie's home run in the second inning. 3-2 breaking ball. Knew it was gone when he hit it.
And looking at that swing, Mike, I'd say that was an 80% swing.
Yes, no doubt. That was just, I'm just going to bunt it out of here swing.
And that goes back to timing.
Lackey deserves to have a home run hit off of him in here right now after that 11-pitch debacle, to Brown.
Popped him up, shallow left field. Peralta, the shortstop, is there, and he gets out of it. He leaves a couple more. He's left 5 in the last 3 innings. No runs, 1 hit, and 2 men left. End of the 6th. Cardinals lead it 4-1. Time now for your Delaware Valley Honda Dealers game summary. It's 4-1 Cardinals thanks to Randall Grichuk's 3-run home run in the 6th inning. John Lackey has left 5 runners on base in the last 3 innings of work on the mound for the Cardinals. Cody Ashley's accounted for the only run for the Phils, the solo home run in the 3rd. Aaron Harang's night is done after 6 strikeouts over 6 innings. He'll turn it over to Elvis Araujo in his 17th ball game. Araujo 1-1 with a 2.63 earned run average. And he's on to face Colton Wong, Matt Carpenter, and Johnny Peralta. Wong is 0 for 2. He's grounded out. He's also flied out. He was hit by a pitch his second time up. And he takes outside. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Phillies have added Seth Rosine to the bullpen for tonight. They designated Philippe Almont for assignment. And Philippe said he's going to go home for a couple days to Canada. And after last night's performance, he said essentially he thinks it's between his ears. It's not mechanical. As that one is waved out, it's 1-2. Said he'd like to stay in the Phillies organization. He said it's the organization he grew up in after being sent over from the Mariners. He said he likes Lehigh Valley and will be open to going to Lehigh Valley if he does get through waivers. Outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Toyota Major League scoreboard. The Reds trail the Marlins 5-0. That game is in the top of the 7th inning. Marlins are 7 games back. Two balls, 2 strikes. That one's pulled through the hole on the right side. He left that breaking ball up. And a leadoff single. These lucky fans are tonight's Citizens 7. They were to receive a prize pack courtesy of Citizens Bank. Good banking is simple, clear, and personal. And that's helping you bank better. Citizens Bank.
Pretty tough at bat there by Wong. Big old Elvis Arahu lefty. Brought him in to get the 2 left-handers out this inning. Man, he battled him.
Yeah, Ryan Sandberg said today that it's not going to matter. It's going to depend on the situation, I should say. He's not going to choose either Diekman or Araujo one over the other. I mean, Diekman worked last night. He's worked a couple days since being brought up. But they seem to be pretty confident with what Elvis Araujo has been able to do.
And I think he's gaining that confidence where A, I belong here, and B, I know I can get people out.
No balls, 1 strike to Carpenter. 0-2.
.95. Impressive.
I wouldn't be surprised if you see his velocity go up as he gets a little bit older. He's every bit of 6'7". He's that guy that just gets bigger every time you see him.
Runner goes, pitches in the dirt, and a stolen base for Wong. That'll be his 6th of the year.
That's good coaching right there. He probably, had the stopwatch on Araujo and obviously watched him 2 or 3 pitches to home, went on first move, and it was no contest.
Chris Maloney is the first base coach.
Boom, gone. A lot of times that 0-2 pitch is a good pitch to run off. And pitchers don't mind bouncing it. Usually purpose pitch or breaking ball in the dirt.
Yeah, you want to get the hitter to fish for something. And most of the time, where do hitters fish? In the dirt. You're exactly right.
And now we'll watch see if Carpenter can do the job for the Cardinals. He's the kind of hitter that should be able to.
He's down on strikes. 1 away. 7 strikeouts for Phillies pitching.
It wasn't necessarily a really good pitch, kind of a breaking ball hanging right over the middle of the plate. Got away with it.
Well, here's Johnny Peralta, who's 2 for 3 tonight. A single twice, scored a run, grounded out to shortstop. By the way, Harang's not going to win this game, obviously. He can lose it, but it's the 25th straight game where the Phillies starting pitcher will not record a win. 25 straight games. Runner goes toward third. Ball is hit foul. It's 1-1. Phillies are 4-20 during that stretch. The last win was May 23rd. Cole Hamels won that one.
Back to Wong had that base stolen. Peralta did the Phillies a favor right there by swinging at that ball. Might have been outside anyway, but he did us a big favor fouling that off and negating the stolen base at third. And Utley in there talking to him right now, telling him to vary his move to the plate, hold the ball, go quick, give us a look back, do a reverse move to something. Of course, the cat's out of the bag now that he might steal. So.
Yeah, I'm looking at that as a hitter. If I see the guy has a base stolen, I'm going to take one.
It's a 1-0 count.
You're at third base
with one out.
Right. You're going to draw the infield in and opens up a lot more green.
You know, and it wasn't a group fastball right there. It was off the plate outside.
You know, I know you said it distracted you. Some guys don't even, you'll ask certain players, does it do this or does it do that? Some guys say, the only thing I see is the ball and the release point. That's the only thing I see.
Not a bad pitch. It's 3-1. It just missed. Carlos wanted it.
Maybe the umpire wants to put him on.
Goes, pitches hit foul down the right field line. He may have just swung at ball 4.
Conversely, though, Mike, isn't he already in scoring position? And he can run. It's not like he's Yadier Molina out there.
Well, let's back it up. If he takes it, it's first and third and 1 out. He takes the pitch. I don't think he's going to try to steal again in this at bat.
It looks like he's sucking wind a little bit out at second base. Swing and a miss. He got it with a high fastball. 2 outs here in the 7th inning. Well, earlier today and every single year around this time, we have our Fans Feeding Families program here at Citizens Bank Park. People dropping off some food outside the ballpark tonight. And every single year, Fans Feeding Family benefits Philabundance. Now, these are all the sponsors that are part of the Fans Feeding Families program. You know, Aramark, Goya Foods, the Jewish Federation of Greater Philadelphia, Hatfield, SEPTA, ShopRite, Sunoco, and Toyota. And they're honored tonight by throwing out the ceremonial first pitch. And as in past years, if you want to support the Fans Feeding Families program, there are pins that are available to be purchased at the Majestic Clubhouse store for $5. And that will help in raising money to benefit Philabundance here in Philadelphia. A great cause. You can find out more by going to Phillies.com/Fans Feeding Families. Program is supported by Ryan Sandberg and his wife Margaret this year. Roy Halladay and his family foundation have been big supporters of it in past years. 2-0 pitch is hit back toward the middle, a base hit into center field. Rounding third, heading for home is Wong, and he's going to score, and it's now a 5-1 ball game. An RBI single for Jason Hayward, his second hit of the evening. His red hot June continues. And Bob McClure going to the phones.
Good hitting by Jason Hayward. The two left-handers, Wong and Hayward, get hits off of Arahu. The two strikeouts sandwiched in between. Wong is trying to score for a long time, and
sure has.
That's a good approach there by Hayward. He can't be a very comfortable with bat if you're left-handed against Elvis. but not trying to do too much and knocking one up the middle. Get that man some water.
Or some smelling salts or some oxygen or something. In the dirt. By the way, Seth Rosine has started to warm up in the bullpen for the Phils. The big right-hander, there he is, making his return to the big leagues. Last year was there in Los Angeles. One ball and one strike. He's also up with the Texas Rangers. Phillies saw him in Texas, where the Dodgers took him as a Rule 5 selection, and the Rangers took him off waivers. Off the hands, over the dugout.
That's a big run there for the Cardinals, and the fact that, you know, a 3-run home run, obviously a lot more likely than a grand slam to get back in this. I know the Phillies haven't hit a whole lot of home runs this year, but hey, you know, 2 bloops and a blast, and it's a tie ball game. That's why that, you know, that 4-run lead now that they have, it's a big run for the Cardinals.
One ball, 2 strikes, and Araujo throws over to first. Hayward is back.
It looks to me like Araujo's delivery to the plate's very obvious. I mean, he crosses his knee, his right knee past his left knee pretty easily, and has a little bit of discomfort. Not really comfortable holding a runner on.
There he goes. Pitches outside, no throw. What a jump by Hayward. 8th stolen base of the year. Well, looked like he saw the same thing you were just talking about, Mike, because he went and was easily able to swipe second.
And his leg comes up and crosses so quickly. It's not like he comes up, holds it, and then makes that move.
Over to the left side. Molina just threw the bat literally at the ball, and the side is retired. But an extra run for the Cardinals here in the 7th inning. 1 run on 2 hits. Jason Hayward's RBI single makes it a 5-1 game as we stretch here in Philadelphia. Presented by Cure Auto Insurance is coming up after the ball game. We're going to do it live from the ballpark. Ben, you've done this before, right? Phillies post game live. You've done that before.
Couple times.
Mike, I think you've done it once. You've done Phillies post game live one time before. Will we recap the game, do a little highlights? We're going to do it coming up after tonight's ball game. There's Bob McClure chatting with Araujo.
Does that mean I have to stick around after?
Well, if you choose to.
You're number 20. You can do whatever you want.
bottom of the 7th inning. Murph's going to be hunting squirrels. Murph, any sign of the squirrel tonight? Anything down there at all?
I've been told from a pretty good authority that that squirrel has been captured.
Oh, really?
And released into the wild.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Into the wild, huh?
Well, or
outside the ballpark.
Broad Street. I don't know. It's pretty wild out there, right?
I'm thinking FDR.
Yeah, probably FDR.
Freddie Galvis boops one. It's a shallow right field, a base hit. That's his second hit. Well, Murph, we didn't want to interrupt your preparation, but we're going to go right back down to you for the MLB Network, or for the Major League Notebook, and this is the squirrel that we're talking about. Very active.
Are we watching the squirrel from last night?
We were.
Should we break down that stride?
Yes, I didn't think it was going to end well, but perhaps it did. That's a good thing. All right, yeah, the Major League Notebook presented by St. Joseph's University, and the Cincinnati Reds have finally figured out what they're going to do with Devin Mesoraco, their catcher, who has been battling a hip impingement all season long. He hasn't been able to catch for them since the second week of the season, but they were trying to use him as a pinch hitter, a designated hitter, when they were playing in American League ballparks. And then they sent him down to Louisville to try left field, but the hip became too painful, and they decided, you know what, that's it. They're going to scrap that. He is now headed for surgery. That will end his season. And some big news out of Seattle, and I know this is something that Ben Davis saw earlier today. Edgar Martinez has been named the new hitting coach for the Seattle Mariners. Of course, their offense has been struggling a bit. Some say underachieving. Howard Johnson was in his second season as their hitting coach. They have replaced him. They're going to move him to a different job within the organization. And now Edgar Martinez, who has a pretty good resume in that neck of the woods, will be the new hitting coach for the Mariners. They're hoping he can turn things around for them. Guys?
1 strike to Carlos Ruiz. Inside 2-1. Ben, do you support the Edgar Martinez hiring?
I think it'll be a great hire. Yeah, I really do. Edgar and I spent a lot of time talking hitting, and he could, the best thing, yes, he knows a lot about hitting and obviously knew how to hit, but the best thing about Edgar is he could relay that to other guys, to his teammates. You know, it's one thing to have that knowledge. If you cannot convey that knowledge, now I knew what he was talking about with regards to technique and approach. I wasn't able to do it because I didn't have Edgar's skill level, but I knew what he was trying to convey, and it was just fun. And we talked about it. My dad was out there. We'd sit around after the ball game and talk hitting. And sometimes we'd get out there at 1:30 in the morning, but we were talking about hitting, and it was just a blast to do.
I wonder if he's there to kind of jumpstart Robinson Cano, who's really struggled a little bit this year for the Mariners. Nelson Cruz is hit for power. 3 balls, 1 strike to Carlos Ruiz. And Carlos hits it foul. It's 3-2.
Robbie this year hitting .245. Robinson Cano. .245 with 2 homers.
That's not what they expected when they signed him. Well, here the Phillies down 5-1. They have a runner at first base. It's 3-2 to Carlos Ruiz. Bottom of the 7th inning. Infield a double play deck. And Carlos chops it foul toward Pete McCannon.
Not a real good effort by Pete.
He should have fielded on the big hop. Big hop.
You got to let those balls go down to the stands, you know, people hanging over the stands, the ball girl. In the old days, you used to have to throw it in the dugout. Now it goes in the stands.
That one's chopped out to second. Wong waits, tags Galvis, throws to first in time to get Ruiz. It's going to be a 4-3 double play.
Well, you know, quite possibly Chooch might have made a pass at ball 4 a couple times with a 3-1 count.
I think Freddie could have run back a little bit longer and enabled Chooch to make it to first base safely.
Yeah, I wonder if he thought he bought him enough time. Do you know what I mean? Because he wasn't looking and he just stopped.
Well, the play by the second baseman, I mean, as soon as Freddie turns and runs back to first, he throws to first, and then they get him in a rundown.
That one's off the hands out toward Wong, and he makes the catch, and that'll do it for the Phils here in the 7th inning. The inning ends abruptly for the Phillies. They get a hit. They don't leave anybody. We've played 7. We'll move to the 8th inning with the Cardinals up 5-1. Entertainment provider of the Philadelphia Phillies, and by Toyota. Where will Toyota take you? Visit buyatoyota.com to find out. Toyota, let's go places. Top of the 8th inning, it's 5-1. Cardinals on top. Time now for our Hyundai defensive play of the game. This one was the first time since 2013 that Carlos Ruiz picked a runner off. This is a great throw right here, Ben.
It's a very good throw, and again, he has got to go and pick that ball in the dirt, get to his feet quickly, and throws a bullet down to Ryan Howard at first base. Matt Carpenter just gets stuck in the mud.
Just gets stuck. Right. You got to give Howard a little credit, too, for a nice tag. Pretty quick slap tag right there.
That's why having a left-handed first baseman makes all the difference.
Well, here we go. Top of the 8th inning, Seth Rosine, who spent the first 26 games of 2015 down in AAA. 2.65 ERA. We saw him in spring training. We also saw him last year when he was pitching for the Rangers against the Phillies. Phillies acquired him in the Hunter Pence trade, and then the Dodgers took him in the Rule 5 draft last year in 2013. He went to Australia with the Dodgers, and then eventually they let him go. Went through waivers, picked up by the Rangers, and then eventually sent back to the Phils. Off the mask of Ruiz again. It's 1-2.
I'll keep harping on this guy. Those are just, I mean, the pitches are hanging breaking ball, but those are just way too healthy cuts of breaking balls for me. I don't know whether you guys see it. Ben, I know you do, but cuts way too healthy.
Another slider.
And it's up. It's 2-2. I think the when he hit the home run, I think that was where you really saw it, because he didn't even flinch at all. Like, the body stayed the same. There was no extra movement thinking, oh man, I got to get out of the way of this.
You know, we're not up here advocating hitters hit them in the head or anything like that, but what we're saying is you know, at this level of baseball, you just can't let major league hitters be that comfortable at home plate. This is a young kid. It's his first year. I don't even know, but see, that's the first time they've come anywhere near throwing the ball inside to him. And that particular pitch right there is not as effective, obviously, as if it were up around to draw a line on the monitor there, Ben, where that pitch should be. Everything would change. Trust me, if this hitter thought that this pitcher didn't like him.
Over to third. That's a fair ball over the bag down the left field line. And Cody plays it off the half wall, and Grichuk's going to pull him to second base with a double.
I got stopped in my thought there, but I mean, like him having those kind of swings. I didn't like him. A major league pitcher cannot watch a hitter like that take those kind of swings at his breaking ball.
I think you guys talked about it before as you watch his swing.
And that was supposed to be a fastball away. Ends up on the inner half. He pulls his hands through. Watch his back elbow. See how it stays connected to his side there?
Well,
I mean, that is just textbook.
He hit that ball below the trademark, but he pulled his hands in to get to it. Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
I mean, if your back elbow gets extended away from your body right there, that bat's in 10 pieces. But he stayed connected. When I mean his back elbow stayed connected to his core and enabled him to stay inside the ball.
In the dirt, gets away from Ruiz. Grichuk going to third. The throw not in time. A wild pitch.
I watched him run first and second on that double. He can move too. It's good secondary. Sees it and attacks right away.
To the back of the bag too. Scruggs has grounded out twice. He's also struck out. The Phillies have the infield in, down by 4. This guy was a home run hitter in the minor leagues. 5 straight years of 20 home runs or more. The Cardinals brought him up after he put together an 11 home run, 35 RBI start. Outside, 2-2. Phillies are trying to decide who to bring up to replace Philippe Almont. It was Dave Brundage, the manager of Lehigh Valley, as that one is hit toward first, past the diving Howard, who recommended Rosine. A run scored. It's now 6-1 in favor of the Cardinals. RBI single for Scruggs. It's his first hit of the year in the majors.
Another good piece of hitting by a Cardinal hitter with runner on third and nobody out. Putting in play the opposite field. Poking the slider the other way, get the run in, make contact. And also good base running. Very good base running by Grichuk.
Yeah, if he doesn't advance to third base on that wild pitch, Ryan Howard's going to be playing back and most likely field that ground ball.
Grichuk's now scored twice tonight. The home run and now there. Borges fouls it away. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, Mike Matheny's had a heck of a 4 years so far as the manager of the St. Louis Cardinals. 319 wins, 234 losses. Inside. That hit him? Yes, it did. So that'll put runners on first and second, and still nobody out here in the 8th.
It's all right. Nothing wrong with that. Guys are diving over home plate to, make contact. You pitch inside, you might hit somebody.
Well, now John Jay will be the pinch hitter. The Phillies, throughout the course of the 2015 season, will honor extraordinary scholars. They're sophomores and juniors with a minimum GPA of 3.0. What you need to do is write an essay sharing how you are contributing to the common good through service. Go to Phillies.com/scholar to see how to present that essay and to sign up. It's all on a rolling basis. Again, go to Phillies.com/extraordinary scholar for more info. John Jay lines one into left field, a base hit. We're going to hold Scruggs at third. Bases are now loaded with nobody out. And nobody up in the Phillies bullpen.
The Cardinal hitter smokes the ball the opposite field with men in scoring position.
All the infielders, even Chooch went out before that at bat. They all gather on the mound. For the life of me, I can't imagine what that meeting could have been about. They're not bunting in that situation. Up by 5 runs. If anything, Chooch would go out, but they've already gone over the signs with the man on second. They know what sign they want to use.
Outside, 1-0.
Did you play the infield in here, Mike?
Yeah, was it last night? They had a situation where they were down in the game. I want to say it was 6-0 at the time in last night's ball game. I remember we were talking about it in Ruben's box, and they played it back, willing to give up the 7th run for a double play. We were talking about that in last night's game. I don't know whether you remember that.
Yeah.
Big
hey,
rip.
It's just baseball. It's a situation where you make the hitter a lot tougher hitter to get out by moving your infield in, but you just cannot just let them get the 7th run in the game. You can't do it in the 7th run, the 8th run. You can't trade runs for outs when you're down 5. Obviously, if we get the strikeout here, we can go back in the middle.
Maybe we get that elevated fastball that.
Yeah.
Oh, he did left field. He did hit it. Ashley's going to grab it. Tagging from third is Scruggs. Going to third is Borges. The throw. He is out. Cody Ashley with his 2nd outfield assist. Right now it's 7-1 on that sacrifice fly. Mike Matheny's wondering if they should challenge it. Watch this setup and throw by Ashley.
Well, actually, Cody threw from his back leg.
And if he is indeed out, Borges is the fastest man on the team.
Really? And
oh, he can fly.
I'll be darned. I couldn't imagine Cody throwing him out from his back leg. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like falling back. I can see it with some momentum going toward third base. Well, the throw is definitely right on the money.
And then right there he gets him before his foot hits the bag.
Well, he couldn't get that momentum towards third base because of the arc of the flight of the baseball. You know, Cody had to move back to his left, and he couldn't gain that momentum. The ball was hit fairly hard, so he couldn't get underneath it.
2 outfield assists now for Ashley. And Matt Carpenter's the batter. Cody's only had 2 misplays while being out there since he's been brought back up. Well, one more tough hitter to get through if you're Seth Rosine. With John Jay still over at first base. Just a bit outside, and it's 2-1. Well, this is a 25 pitch inning, 26 pitch inning, I should say, for Rosine. And ball 4. So that puts runners on first and second. For Carpenter, it's the second time he's walked. It's the third time he's reached base. Refreshing, great tasting Blizzard spring water is the new buzz around the water cooler. WB Mason offers free same-day delivery of 5-gallon Blizzard spring water bottles with no minimums or hidden fees. Well, Bob McClure's heading out to the mound, but there's nobody up. This is his inning.
Can't tell you how valuable a hitter like Carpenter is when willingness to take that walk, keep that high on base percentage up there in front of that 3-hole hitter, 4-hole hitter.
He's been so solid for them since he first came up. They weren't sure where they were going to play him, whether it be at second base or at third base, and he's been very good over at third base for them.
How about that performance against Kershaw? Run off of Kershaw last year. Was that last in the postseason last year? He hit one. Matt Adams hit one.
Outside, 1-0 to Peralta. It was last year that they faced the Dodgers, so Peralta has 2 hits, 2 for 4. Pulls that one toward the hole, and that's a base hit into left field. Rounding third, heading for him is Jay. Ashe's up with it. The throw to the plate is oh no, he missed him.
Now he's out. I bet you missed home plate.
Carlos Ruiz thought he got him initially and then went after him again. Now he's not arguing. So it'll be an RBI single for Peralta, and it's now 8-1 in favor of the Cards.
Well, Cody made a fantastic throw there. He's getting ready to get his 3rd assist in left field. Watch this. Charges the ball right on the money. I mean, I don't know whether you discredit that to a really, really good slide. Yes, you can.
Yep.
You know what I credit to, Mike?
I credit that dang rule.
To that stupid rule.
I'll tell you what, if we don't have the Buster,
drop the hammer on him.
That's right. If we don't have the Buster Posey rule right there, that knee's in front of home plate.
He was as good as anybody at it, at taking that plate away, getting the ball, taking the plate away, and not creating a sliding lane for the runner. It's exactly what I credit that to.
And you don't think it's on his mind when the guy's coming to home plate?
Ooh, am I okay here? Am I okay? Am I giving him a lane?
We don't hurt anybody.
It's ridiculous.
And, you know, in this game especially, it's 8-1, 7-1 at the time. I guarantee you he didn't get near home plate.
Watch Chooch get the ball. Okay, boom. This throw is perfect. And it actually runs you into the runner, and he didn't know what to do.
You're right. He could have gotten into the line because the ball took him that way.
He could have completely taken that lane away.
Yep. 1 ball and 1 strike to Hayward. Oh, it was a heck of a slide by John Jay.
I know it doesn't mean a lot because it is 8-1, but you get a close ball game, and it's getting my Irish up, and I apologize. But, you know, it just, you get in a tight ball game, and then that's where it's really going to come into play.
I agree with you 100%. 100%.
Line drive down the left field line. That's going to go to the corner. 1 run will score. Carpenter will cross the plate. Peralta is being held at third. It's now 9-1 in favor of the Cardinals.
Well, no matter what the score is in the game, that's sweet hitting if you can line a ball over third base as a left-handed hitter. I mean, that's just good hitting. You see Ryan Sandberg. I mean, he's definitely not happy.
You're right. That is some good hitting there.
Wow.
Did it surprise you when a lefty was up and would rifle ball down that third base line like that? Because that's the last thing you're expecting is the ball be hit that hard from a lefty coming at you like that.
Well, here's Tony Cruz, who will pinch hit for Yadier Molina. 1 ball and no strikes. Still nobody up in the pen for the Phils. Out to second base. Chase Utley is up with it. And the inning finally comes to a close. A 4-3 putout. 4-run score for the Cardinals here at the top of the 8th inning. And St. Louis with a comfortable 9-1 lead as we move to the bottom of the 8th. Gashi and his wife Angie is available at the Majestic Clubhouse store or on Phillies.com. Net proceeds benefit the ALS Association, the Greater Philadelphia chapter. You can pick one up now. $24.99 is the cost. And it's for a great cause as well. Well, Colton Wong has had a pretty good night for the Cardinals offensively. He's got a new double play partner. Pete Kozma will take over at shortstop. Tony Cruz stays in the game to catch. The new pitcher is the veteran Randy Choate. 32nd game. He's 1-0 with a 2.92 earned run average. Mike, did you face Randy Choate when you played? It seems like he's been around forever.
I don't think so. I don't think so. No. Ben?
I probably have.
Yeah, I think you faced him, Ben.
Probably in his book.
I know he pitches every game the Cardinals play the Phillies, don't they?
He does seem to, yes. Seems like he faces one batter every game against everybody and then goes out. Here he's in for the 8th because the Phillies have Revere and Utley. And then after Franco, they'll have Howard.
There's a Phillies coaching staff right there. And I got to tell you, to some degree, one of them has been grounds to short. And I can assure you people out there, those are some guys that are trying as hard as they can, and they're taking this probably worse than anybody in the town. For the fans, the ownership, and everything. Those guys right there work hard every day, and this is really hard on them.
Well, there's no question they do work hard. And we talked about that before, and just the effort that they put in. Here's Chase Utley.
Well, that's not a happy camper.
0-1.
They're expecting snow. A mock turtle on. Trying to shed some pounds.
Well, he's sitting in front of the hallway, so the air conditioning comes up.
There you go.
You know, you get older, you get colder. 0-1 is outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Utley is 0 for 3. He's grounded out. He's also flied out to center twice, and it's 1-2.
You know, if this were basketball or football, you run out the clock, right?
There's no clock in baseball. I mean, there is a clock now in between innings, but there's no clock in baseball, Mike.
And unfortunately, all of these at-bats, all these pitches, all these confrontations are stats that mean something to guys, their careers, their batting averages.
That one didn't break the way Choate had expected it to. Unfortunately for Carapazza, it went right between his legs. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
A little bit of a backup spinner there, Ben.
He comes down that 3/4. If he doesn't get fully closed off, that ball's exactly what's going to happen. It's just tough finding that release point from that angle, but he's done it pretty much his whole career.
That one is over toward the hole. A base hit for Utley. A 1-out single here in the 8th inning. And Michael Franco is coming up with the Cardinals up 9-1.
Well, Chase deserves that. He's not giving up any at bats, and you know, a 9-1 game, tough lefty, gives him a really good at bat. Well deserved base hit.
Well, now Franco, who has 2 hits tonight, his average, as Ben mentioned before, is at 282. He is 5 for 13 on this homestand. Ben, we're scouring Randy Choate's, the batters he's faced. It's a long list, so just bear with us.
Okay.
Terry Mulholland's on the list. Seriously.
I believe I took Terry Mulholland deep.
Well, we'll get to him after we look for Randy Choate. Just give us a moment.
My guy hit so many, kind of run into each other.
Inside.
Terry Mulholland, you took deep. Terry Mulholland was my final at bat of my career.
Really?
Yep. Base on balls.
Ben, you didn't go by Jason Davis one year, did you? Because
No.
he's on the list. Three and 1.
3-0 slide.
Yeah, I was just going to say. That's a tough one. 9-1 down, 3-0 slider.
He got the 3-0 green light last night, but I don't think he would have gotten it up down 9-1.
Ball 4, so that puts 2 on. With 1 out, Ryan Howard is coming up. He's 0 for 3. Howard has struck out twice. He's also flied to right. He's got a 3-game hitting streak on the line. 0 for 11 against Randy Choate.
Well, it's a good time now to change that.
That's right.
Get back on the good side of this confrontation with Choate. Because I'm sure he'll see him again.
Tapper back to the box. That could be 2. There's 1 and 2. It's a 1-6-3 double play. Side is retired. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left. To the 9th inning we go. The Cardinals on top, 9-1. And right there is one of the big reasons why he has hit a 3-run home run tonight. He's doubled. He's scored 2. It's time for our W. Mason delivery of the game. This ball got out of here in a hurry. This is a 1-1 game before this ball.
It was a 1-1 game, and this ball splits the plate. A fastball that's elevated right down the middle, and he just stays to it and really smokes the ball to deep center field, and that is your W.B. Mason delivery of the game.
Well, he'll lead things off against Seth Rosine, who's well, he's taking one for the team right now. Slider high. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Phillies will have to make a move tomorrow. See Sean O'Sullivan, who was available in the bullpen tonight because of his short outing the other night, where he pitched pretty well through 5 and they took him out. Phillies will have to make a move for Adam Morgan to start tomorrow's ball game. I mean, you could just deduce that Rosine's going to be the move. I mean, he's thrown so many pitches here tonight. Two balls and 1 strike. It's sharply foul. Look out.
Ben, did you wear some elbow protection?
I never wore anything.
I must admit, if the one he's got on right there right now would have been attractive to me, I wouldn't have gone with the big Barry Bonds pad over the whole elbow, but the little small elbow protection right there to absorb the shot in the elbow, to me, I think is a major advantage to a hitter.
I don't think anybody, David Ortiz probably still wears the Barry Bonds protection, right? Is he the only one that still wears it?
That one Barry had was like a full arm cast. It was huge.
That ball's hit well. If it's fair, it's gone. It's hooking, and it is gone. Second home run of the night for Grichuk. So he has 6 home runs now. 2 have come tonight. 4 in the last handful of games. Although a lot of Cardinals fans were here tonight, and they're pretty pleased about what they watched. He'll go through the line after that home run.
I guess this batting stance works.
Sure does.
Well, he squared that up.
Not a ton of movement in his lower half. Didn't use a ton of his legs there, but again, the timing's good. Good looking young player, I tell you.
Many all are, Ben. At least the Cardinals, as I said before, the record they have is unbelievable. Players they've lost.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that they're running away with their division, but this was supposed to be the best division in baseball, and they have a 5-game lead over the Pittsburgh Pirates. Now, their lead was 6.5 10 days ago, but a 5-game lead over the Pirates at this point in the season. That's the largest lead for anybody in baseball. And they've lost Wainwright, and they've lost a bunch of other guys, too.
Now, Scruggs, has he been up for a while? I see he's only has 6 at-bats.
No. They just brought him up the other day. They sent 2 guys down and brought him up with one other player. He played last year a little bit for the Cardinals. And he grounds that one through the middle. That's a base hit.
So he comes right out of AAA, right into the major league lineup, and could have fooled me that he had been around for a while.
Well, he's an older guy. Maybe comparatively speaking, he's 27 for only being up here for parts of 2 seasons.
You talk about a lopsided scorecard.
Oh, it's lopsided.
I mean, it's
sixth inning
just,
on.
From the 6th inning on, it's just.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, it was a 1-1 game until Grichuk's 3-run home run in that 6th inning. Off the plate, they won't get 2. Ozzie throws Borges out. So now Pete Kozma will bat. Kozma just came in that switch with Randy Choate. So Randy Choate is batting third in the lineup. And Ben, it is official through all our research, peeling through the paperwork. You never faced Randy Choate.
Wow.
Yeah. Mike, you never did either. But
I find that hard to believe.
You both faced Terry Mulholland, though.
Yes, I have. Was it ever announced the official stats on the Lackey thing with Ben?
Thanks a lot, Mike.
We know.
Well, I'm concerned about that.
That's a good question. I believe it was given to Ben.
It was, and I still think these stats are inaccurate.
We did verify with Elias, the official statistician.
1 for 11.
Major League Baseball.
1 for 11 with 6 strikeouts.
Oh.
The only reason I say it's not accurate is the fact that they were in our division.
Ball's whacked out toward left center field. Revere makes the catch. Scruggs tagging from second. He'll go to third.
They were in our division, which we would face him a lot. He was a righty and I was a switch hitter, so I faced him a lot left-handed. And then I actually remember my first game I played with the White Sox. We were playing the Angels, and John Lackey started that game as well.
Well, you could have walked a few times.
I would have thought he could have made some adjustments somewhere along that line.
You would think that, wouldn't you?
Well, maybe he changed his name and it's under somebody else.
Sometimes I really like that bell, and sometimes I don't.
I wouldn't have stuck with the same approach after about 7 at-bats.
Colton Wong fouls it down the left field line. It's 0-1.
Don't feel bad, Ben. I definitely had my guys that ate me alive. There was a pitcher that literally forced me to retire. His name was Scott Garrelts.
Scott Garrelts?
San Francisco Giants. Drove me right out of the game. I couldn't touch him. He was a closer for the Giants. 89.
Inside, 1-1. Wonder what he's doing now.
Probably sitting at a bar somewhere bragging about how he got me out.
Chopper left side. Freddie's going to have to hurry. Long throw in time, and the side is retired. A home run for Grichuk, his second one of the ball game. Mike, as we go to break, we want to inform our audience, just because we want to be fair to everyone.
Well, I want Ben to feel good, so
that's exactly right.
Run it out there.
1 for 20 against Scott Garrelts. 10 punch-outs.
Thank you.
Well, that one, though, was a dandy. Presented by Cure Auto Insurance from live here at the ballpark. We'll be in our satellite studio up here in the booth recapping tonight's ball game between the Phils and the St. Louis Cardinals. So stand by for that. We go to the bottom of the ninth inning. Some changes for the Cardinals. Greg Garcia, who was just brought up with Scruggs a couple days ago, is in at third, and Trevor Rosenthal hasn't pitched since the 13th of June. Will come into this game to get some work. And he'll face Dominic Brown. Dominic is 0 for 1 with 2 walks. First pitch is low. It's 1 ball, no strikes.
Well, I tell you, that's cold-blooded to be leading 10-1 and bring your closer in the game. You know,
that's why they were struggling before. That's why he hasn't gotten any work. 1 ball, 1 strike. June 13th. Bit high, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes to Brown. That was at 99 miles an hour, that fastball. Well, tomorrow will be the major league debut of Adam Morgan for the Phils.
Left-hander?
Left-hander the Phillies were very high on, still are. He's battled some shoulder problems over the last few years.
That's amazing. 2 at-bats by Dominic Brown. 0-2, 2 fastballs, or 1-2. 2 fastball takes, balls right there, and works a walk.
Here's Ashe. Ashe's accounted for the only run. At that point, the Phillies are up 1-0 back in the second. And he fouls it back to the screen. It's 0-1.
Yeah, Steve Carlton would yell in this situation, okay, you fastball hitters, now's your chance. Right? 9-1, 10-1 lead, 9-run lead in the 9th inning.
That's why I was surprised he threw Brown at 87. He threw him a changeup at one point. Figured he'd just say, all right, here we go, big boy. See if you can take it. Popped up. And that's over near the Cardinals dugout and out of play. There on the outside part of the plate, 99. And Ashe is struck out, 1 out. And here's Freddie Galvis to bat.
This is just a tough pitch. Most likely down, but I don't know. That's just paint.
Well, these struggles have been well documented for the Phillies. Last 11 games, 1-10. Last 20 games, 4-16. Last 30 games, 7-23. Averaging right around 2 runs per game offensively. That continues tonight with just 1 run. And that's low. 1 ball, 1 strike. How many times have we seen during this stretch the other team putting in extra men in like the 8th and 9th inning, letting just clearing their bench out?
And that enables the regulars to get those 2-3 innings off and be able to come out and play a day game tomorrow.
Pretty good chance the Yadier Molina's playing
I would
tomorrow.
expect he would play tomorrow. I would. And you short yourself that many innings throughout the course of the season. I mean, it's like the equivalent of catching a certain amount of games.
inside, 3-2.
On the positive side, I think Freddie's looked good as a hitter tonight.
A couple of hits tonight.
A couple of knocks.
He's been lined out to center his first time up.
Lined out. Nice bunt for a base hit.
Fouls it back.
Standing up there nice and tall against Rosenthal. Not jumping out.
Fly ball center field. Borges floats back under it, makes the one-handed catch, 2 outs. And every time the Phillies pitchers retire the opposition 1-2-3 this year, Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity, the official entertainment provider of the Philadelphia Phillies. 2 gone, and Ruiz, who's 0 for 3. Carlos misses, watches that one miss low, 1-0. That one's whacked foul. That's 100 miles an hour.
It's a quick arm. The board here has it as 101. But
I got it at 100 over here. I got 99. What's the board have?
99.
I see. There you go.
Well, he hadn't pitched in a while.
Yeah, he's all rested up.
When he pitches a lot, does it drop down? Or?
Not that we've seen. We've seen him a number of times over the last couple of years, and he's been right around 99, 100. And the first few tonight were 95, 96. He's loose now. Back toward the box, fielded by Rosenthal, and that was 100 miles an hour, and that's the exclamation point on another Cardinals victory over the Phils. They win it convincingly by a final score of 10-1, 10 runs on 16 hits. So for the second consecutive night, the Cardinals have put together a 16-hit explosion from an offensive standpoint. Randall Grichuk is our Chevrolet player of the game. He had 3 extra base hits tonight, 4 RBIs, 3 runs scored for St. Louis. Well, these losses are tough to take, as every Phillies fan knows. This one was a tough one, no doubt. They lose it by a final of 10-1. We'll be back to wrap it up right after this.